Hey there, this is the One Boom, and welcome back to more bad Call of Duty takes. You guys seem to like this series, but a lot of you haven't really seen the first episode. It only has about 2,000 views, so that video will be linked at the end of this video. You gotta check it out. It's about CoD boomer tourists, and it's a whole thing. It's a long rant, but it's worth it. Trust me, it'll be linked at the end of this one. This video is about weapon balance, meta weapons, and this feels right going into Black Ops 7. Right now it's the evening of the 9th for me, so Black Ops 7 comes out in about 3 days. In about 3 days it'll be the 13th, and then the night of the 13th is when the game comes out for me at 10 p.m. So yeah, I'm kind of right on the edge here. I'm excited like I am every year, like a kid at Christmas. But of course I think the number one thing that gets talked about more than anything else at the start of a CoD game is weapons. This is overpowered, this is underpowered, this needs to be nerfed, this needs to be buffed, please don't nerf this is too good, everyone's already using the same gun, and then of course you get people being more frustrated at the people sharing meta loadouts and talking about meta loadouts on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and whatever. During the BO7 beta, I made a video about Scump's really bad M15 Mod 0 loadout and just wanted to share that he clearly didn't understand the stats and didn't understand what he was making. And he made like this weird, super long-range Warzone build that just wasn't actually effective and was kind of holding him back. It wasn't even using all of the attachment slots. It was a really weird build. I don't think he knew what he was doing. And so I just made a video kind of picking fun at it and just fixing his loadout. Still having it do what his loadout was for, but just more for 6v6 multiplayer and not so much for Warzone. Don't know what he was doing there. Either way, there were a lot of comments on this video talking about how I can't believe people are already talking about meta loadouts. I'm sorry, Call of Duty's been about the guns forever. I mean, if you're talking to a group of people that want to play the shoot people video game, and this is the more so than that, it's the open meta sandbox, choose whatever weapon you want and go play with it. Like, there's no power weapons in like Call of Duty, right? You can just spawn in with a sniper or shotgun. If you just want to run an RPG and like 2 grenades, you can do that. Like, Call of Duty is that series. So the community being infatuated with meta loadouts and best combinations and best class setups, that's been a thing forever. I would say really dating back to Modern Warfare 2 when they first gave us the ability to use 2 attachments with the bling perk. That opened the floodgates, because you could have red dot suppressor, extended mag, FMJ or something, and it was a big deal because those combinations mattered on certain guns. Because some YouTubers that knew even more about the numbers and stats knew that you kind of wanted to avoid that one attachment on this one gun or this attachment on this other gun, and people started making videos about it. And especially going into like Modern Warfare 3 with weapon perks and Black Ops 2 with the Pick 10 system and the ability to throw on 3 attachments, with the attachments also just like directly affecting stuff like movement speed and aim down sight time instead of it being tied to perks like it was before. Like, gun customization was a big deal. So it's really funny to me that people will, be a part of the Call of Duty community. They'll be talking about Call of Duty Online, and they're surprised when people want to bring up the weapons and the weapon loadouts and best combinations and just really cool things. Like, even in the most simple gunsmith systems, the simple creative class systems, we still always seem to find combinations every year that are worth pointing out to the community. That we find standout weapons, we find cool shit. And people have a problem with this, and that's not really what this video is about though. All of that is sort of a precursor to the number one issue, which is, unfortunately, people have a solution for this. Now, in my opinion, having a solution for this is an inherent non-starter due to this one thing. You can't have a solution to weapon balance, and the solution that so many people come up with that they think is the right call, but it's absolutely not, and it definitely earns a spot as a bad COD take, is just make everything overpowered. No. No, they will not just be making everything overpowered. That's not possible. That's literally not possible. Even back in the days that people say like, oh, in MW2 or COD 4, everything was viable. Well, first of all, those games had stopping power, which just increased the damage of your gun. And yeah, when every assault rifle is killing in 2 shots, yeah, it's all usable, but there were still metas in those games, guys. Like, you think everything was viable in MW2, so nobody was abusing the UMP45 or the ACR. In COD 4, nobody's using M16 with red dot. In Black Ops 1, no one was using a suppressed Galil. choosing the weapon with the best iron sights, or the most consistent recoil pattern, or the just most consistent time to kill out at range. It's all a part of CoD, and actually it's all a part of anything that has multiple things in it. And that sentence is not as stupid as it sounds. If you have a multitude of options for people to interact with in any context, people will start optimizing. They'll pick the thing that is the best. If every gun in Call of Duty was statistically identical, people use the ones that have the best iron sights, so that way they don't have to waste an attachment slot on a red dot or an optic of any kind, right? Okay, well, what if they all have the same iron sights? Okay, then they'll use the one that's smaller, that takes up less screen space. Okay, what if they're all the same size, same iron sights, they all look the same? Well, which one's quieter? Which one gives off less muzzle flash or less smoke? Okay, they all do the same amount of that. Okay, then when do I unlock it? Then, maybe I'll use the one that I unlock first, even if they're all the same and have the same muzzle flash and the same noise level. And you see what I'm saying? A hierarchy will always form in a group of friends, in a group of players on a team, in a choir, in a competition of any kind. If you've ever watched a competition of any kind on television, you'll see a hierarchy forms immediately. The most competent rise to the top. And those are the people in the game shows and the cooking shows and the survival shows that when you see them get voted off or they lose, you feel like they got cheated because you watched their competence rise above people, and usually someone else is the reason they get taken down or get removed, or maybe their own bad attitude. They are the most skilled, but they're also the shittiest person. And we don't like that as people because we watch a hierarchy form and we watch it get corrupted, whether from an internal or outside force, and we don't like it. Sorry, I'm getting a little too existential here. The point is, you can't make every gun overpowered. You just can't. Even if every weapon killed lightning fast, like in hardcore mode, you'd still be picking the one that has the better rate of fire. You'd still be picking the one that has the most consistent bullet velocity, because you definitely don't want slow bullet velocity in a game mode where you die in one bullet. You're gonna be kill trading all the time. And then you have to ask the question, why would you want to homogenize everything down? Every aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, slide to fire speed, bullet velocity, recoil, damage. Why would you want to homogenize all of this down into a little puddle where nobody's ever being outgunned because one gun is better than the other? Why would you want that experience? I don't understand. But this is where I get to sound really pretentious. For a lot of people, Call of Duty is a very simple part of their life. It's a little time waster after school or after work, or maybe it's something that they just grind to escape reality. Not a big deal, not a problem, I don't mind that. But Call of Duty is such a simple thing in their life, it's a simple aspect of their life, that when they hear about a problem or they find a problem in their gameplay, they believe it has a simple solution. Just make everything overpowered, just remove blank, just don't do blank. Or they get confused. Why are people using blank? Why are people doing blank? Why are people talking and sharing ideas about blank? And it's frustrating. And I hate to sound like a COD elitist, if there is such a thing. I guess I would be it. But I mean, come on. Do you really think that the most simple solution to a game that's competitive about beating other people, full of a plethora of different weapons to defeat people with, is just to make everything powerful? A hierarchy wouldn't form in that. So let's do your idea. When there's an overpowered weapon in Black Ops 7, let's just say you get to wave a magic wand and make everything else buffed. Other than, of course, the overpowered weapon, right? Because we're just making everything powerful, right? We're gonna buff everything. So whether that's damage range, recoil, bullet velocity, sprint out times, whatever, we're buffing it. Are you absolutely sure none of those weapons just became a new problem? Are you absolutely sure that one of those weapons was purposefully nerfed because the style of weapon it is, if it was given any more juice, any more beef, any more buffing, that it would maybe be a little too much to handle, and maybe it has to be more of a niche selective weapon? Have you ever figured that maybe some weapons just take more skill than others? For instance, when it comes to what the CDL pros use, like the competitive guns, like back with Black Ops 6 here, we have like the Ames 85 and the Jackal SMG, like those guns are really good, right? Like, yeah. But they're mostly consistent. They're not actually overpowering you. They're not actually just out DPSing you. They're consistent. They're trustworthy. They're something you can pull out and you can, learn the recoil easily, and you can basically not really have it be a factor in your gunfights because the weapon is so intuitive. That doesn't mean it's the best. It doesn't mean it's the best in every situation. It just means that it's in your way the least amount of times, That way a pro player's actual skill, like map knowledge and movement and positioning, when to trade, when to hold back, when to play the life, when to rotate, that can be in the forefront of their mind, and the weapon can be something they don't have to think about. And so the Jackal was never overpowered. There are more powerful SMGs than the Jackal in Black Ops 6, but a lot of people think it's overpowered because it's overused. It's overused because pro players have a lot of other shit to think about. Now, that is its own issue. Things being overused can be annoying for a game's lifecycle and longevity. If I'm not playing ranked, I'm playing pubs, and I like to play pubs more than I like to play ranked because I like the variety. And when I feel like my entire team and the entire enemy team is using the same like 2 ARs and 2 SMGs throughout the whole life cycle, that's definitely draining. It hurt so many of my favorite CoD games, just even though there were good guns in the game, that no one used them. So the game felt repetitive, the game felt tiring. It felt like I was battling somebody's, 27 hours of muscle memory every gunfight because they wouldn't switch off of that one powerful gun or that one intuitive gun. I think Call of Duty's done a lot to try to encourage people to use more guns by like attaching certain camos to them and making it part of the grind to use things outside of your comfort zone. But come on, even the most balanced Call of Duty games had outlier weapons. Like I would say Black Ops 2 is the most balanced COD game ever made, and the MSMC, the M8, I don't have to say anything else. You can't buff and nerf this problem in COD away because this is a non-starter. It's not an issue. This is a hierarchy that forms when there is an outlier that's a little too, oh my god, good. It's winning in too many engagements. It's stretching out past its effective range. It's killing way too fast, both just in terms of like feel of what it feels like to get hit by it, and just that maybe it's actual numbers. It's actual TTK statistical time to kill numbers. Like that could just be wrong. And of course you can fix that, and the hierarchy will still form. You can fix the outliers where they pop up, but you cannot make everything the same level, because players will still gravitate towards the top, even in a situation where everything's homogenized into boring glop. And a lot of you guys seem to advocate for making the game's boring glop by just buffing everything into oblivion, or those of you who only play hardcore mode, which sort of homogenizes everything into oblivion, and then there's still a hierarchy that forms with what perks and weapons you should and shouldn't use in hardcore. Either way, that's a whole other video. In fact, that's something I didn't have on my list of bad COD takes. I haven't talked about hardcore mode in COD in a while. Maybe we should revisit that. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end, and please go ahead and click on this next episode that's on screen. I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.